Hey, Dr. J here with another episode of Janine's Justifiables, and I'm going to continue in on my parenting and parenthood series. And today I'm going to talk about forgiveness. Okay? In the last episode, I talked about apologizing to your children. And part of that, I mentioned that sometimes we have to apologize to our kid for the other parent. And not that the other parent, we letting the other parent go or we're trying to cover up for the other parent. But sometimes we have to apologize because we took the weight, right, of parenting. Because perhaps the other parent, like I said, wasn't present. For whatever reason, right? And so the weight falls on you, and we are angry, we are disappointed, we are livid, right? That we have to carry this weight by ourselves. And what we don't understand is that we have to learn how to get that off of us, right? And one part of getting that off of you is forgiving yourself. A lot of times people think that forgiveness is only from one person to another person, right? And really, in actuality, forgiveness can be from your own self to your own self, right? You have to learn how to forgive yourself. And the first way you forgive yourself is to recognize you are flawed, right? You are flawed. You are not a perfect parent. You're not a perfect parent. As long as you're a human being, you are not perfect. Anybody that knows me knows there's two words in the English vocabulary I do not use, which is perfect and normal. Those are the two most subjective words I ever seen in human history because they vary depending on who the person is. Right? Your perfect might not be my perfect. Your normal might not be my normal. Something I do on a normal basis, you might think is weird. And something you do on a normal basis, I might think is weird. Right? Forgive yourself for thinking or trying to assume, right, that you are a perfect parent. There is no such thing as a perfect parent. We all struggle, right? We could put face on all we want all day. We all struggle. It might not be financially, it might not be spiritually, it might not be emotionally, it might not be mentally. Somewhere, some in one of those categories, you're gonna find yourself, if not multiple, right? Forgive yourself for thinking that because you're not a perfect parent, you are disappointing and failing your kids. No. Second part, forgive yourself for putting your dreams, your wishes, your ambitions on the back burner, right? A lot of times we as parents, right? If, and I talked about this in a previous episode, when you put your children first, that means you come second. That means you come second. Now, if you still putting yourself first before your kids, this ain't for you. This ain't for you. The ones who have put themselves on the back burner for your kids, that's who I'm talking to, right? Forgive yourself for putting your dreams, your hopes, your goals on the back burner to make sure your children are in a good place, right? Because we have hopes, we have dreams, we want to do this, we want to do that. My dream was to do X, Y, and Z, but I can't do that because I became a mom at 18 years old, right? That doesn't mean that your dreams are just done away with forever. Hopefully, you will have a chance to go back and pursue a dream or a goal that you've had, right? Maybe once the kids got older, right? Because listen, I got pregnant out of high school, and my dream, right, was to go to college, get a college degree, and do X, Y, and Z. And I wanted to go do whatever I wanted to do, but I got derailed, right? My dream got put on the back burner, but my dream wasn't killed. Once my child got a certain age, I went back to school, and I kept going to school once I got the opportunity, right? But I had to forgive myself. I had to forgive myself for getting pregnant at 18 years old. I had to say, Neen, you was a child. You did childish things, right? Glad for the child, but you did childish things. You got to forgive yourself. If you still 40 and 50 and 60 years old, blaming yourself for something you did at 18 years old, you got to learn how to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself. Also, another thing you might need to forgive yourself for, choosing the other parent. I hear this so much. If I would have chose somebody different, I wouldn't be in this situation now. Perhaps. Perhaps. And I've had that regret over my life too. But one thing that I started to change about that thought was if that person wasn't in my life, I would not have the child that I have now. Simple as that. And somebody said to me actually yesterday, well, I would have had, it's just say there, the kid's name is Johnny. Well, I would have had another Johnny by somebody else. I said, perhaps you wouldn't have had Johnny. You might have had Marky, but Johnny you wouldn't have had. Are you grateful for Johnny? Right? So you have to sometimes forgive yourself for choosing that other parent. Again, you're not letting them off the hook, but you are forgiving yourself for making that choice. It's okay. As long as you are happy with the child God gave you, I don't hate that other parent. Don't hate them one bit, right? Forgive yourself for that, because a lot of times we carry that and we're angry with ourselves because of that. I chose this, I chose that. Had you known, you probably wouldn't have chose that, but you didn't, right? We can't live in the coulda, woulda, shouldas. It will drive you absolutely crazy. Trust me, it will drive you crazy, right? And one last point is forgive yourself for doing what you said you would not do, right? And sometimes we say, I will never parent like my parent because they did X, Y, and Z. And you find yourself parenting just like your parent, right? Because what people fail to realize, we teach what we're taught. Right? Whether we like it or not, we teach what we taught. Unless we get a different frame of mind and we find ourselves in perhaps a different location. But if you find yourself in the same frame of mind that you grew up with, and sometimes the same location, and everything is still very familiar, you will repeat what you were taught. You will repeat it, right? I come across people all the time. They say, my mom was a crackhead, right? I would never do that to my kids. And now they out here smoking crack. Right? Forgive yourself. You teach what you are taught. Until you get in a different frame of mind, in a different space, you will repeat the same thing. Right? People, what's the saying? You keep doing the same thing over, hoping for a different result. You got to do something different. Got to do it different. All right? I just wanted to talk about that real quick. Forgive yourself if you're holding on to something. I can't say let it go because it's much easier said than done. But recognize it in yourself. And if you can, have a conversation with yourself. Look yourself in the mirror and say, babe, I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. And tell yourself what you forgive yourself for. All right? I'll catch y'all in the next go round.